Hi, this is John at Happy Wife Acres. One of our most popular videos was making fruit wine step by step. So we thought we would recreate that. So this time we're making a raspberry cranberry wine. We were going to make cranberry wine, didn't have enough, so we just combined the two together. We think the two flavors will come out okay. So the steps we've taken so far are to put the cranberries and raspberries in a bucket about half full with water, just regular tap water, and we put in 1 campden tablet. Just crush one between 2 spoons, mix it in and let it set. What that's going to do is get rid of most of the wild yeasts, the bacteria, things that are on the berries naturally. It's been sitting for about a day and a half. Now it's time to add the other ingredients and the sugar and the yeast. So let me show you what all is involved, all the stuff you're going to need to make your own wine. So what you'll need is a food grade bucket, and you can find these at your wine and brewing store. This is a bubbler that you'll need to let gases out, but not let any bugs in. I like to have what I call a traveler, and it's just a piece of paper tape that kind of says what I've done so far. For the ingredients that are going to go in, 2 teaspoons of the yeast nutrient, 1 teaspoon of the acid blend, 1/2 teaspoon of the pectic enzyme. I've just mixed those together in a small bowl. Need a spoon for stirring. Do not use a wooden spoon. You cannot disinfect it. Use a stainless steel spoon. This is the syrup. Don't laugh at my container. It was the best one I had. This is 4 pounds of sugar. I dissolved it on the stove with as little water as it took to get it all dissolved, so it's a real heavy syrup. 4 pounds of sugar. And the yeast. This is my new favorite yeast, Lalvin K1-V1116. I don't know what's so special about it, but man, does it work. I've already put some in warm sugar water just to let it start working. You can see it's bubbling, becoming active. So what we'll do is we'll open up the bucket, we'll stir in the additives and the yeast, and before I button it up, what we'll do is we've got to take hydrometer reading. So the hydrometer lets you know what your starting point is, the specific gravity of your mixture. Then you want to compare that at the end so you will know how much alcohol you have. There really is no way to estimate your alcohol by volume without doing this at the beginning and at the end. Also, one note, this is one time when you don't have to be super clean, but the rest of the time your hands, your utensils all have to be sprayed down with Star San, something equivalent. It is an acid sanitizer. It does not affect the taste, it does not affect the consistency at all. What we do is we mix it up in a spray bottle so that we can just spray everything down, the counter, the utensils, anything we touch with that wine. The failure to do that, and you're going to be looking at vinegar most likely. You can see here I've written this 1 ounce makes 5 gallons. So this can be pricey. It's like $20–25 for that, but it really lasts a long time. We've been making wine for 3 years now, and you can see, I still got a third left. One last thing I forgot to point out, I do keep a small notebook with every wine I've ever made, and I just make notes so I know what's in it, and if I want to recreate it, I've got it right there. I'm going to spray down the surface I'm working on. This takes about 15 seconds to sanitize. I'll spray my spoon. Even though I washed my hands, I also sprayed my hands. Take this off. So again, so far there's about 4.5 pounds of cranberries and raspberries. It's about half and half. And then there is a pound of raisins, right out of the box raisins. They've been with a campden tablet for about a day and a half. Stir that up. I'm just going to add the additives. I'm going to add the yeast. All stirred up. This is a 2-gallon bucket. Now, we like smaller batches. With this 2-gallon bucket, we're going to get between 5 and 6 quarts. That's good for us because we can make a variety of flavors, and it's only 2 of us. We're always going to have a variety on the shelf. And I'm just going to pour in the syrup. Again, 4 pounds of sugar dissolved in very little water. So I only filled it initially about half full because I knew I'm adding a couple of quarts of this syrup and I don't want it to overflow. I'll stir this all in. Then I'll fill in some more water just about an inch from the top. You want to leave space so that the bubbler isn't in the liquid. I use this long tube so that I can put the hydrometer in. So I'll use a strainer to get some of the liquid out that isn't full of berries and seeds. Okay, so we know the starting hydrometer reading. I made a note on the top. I've sprayed. I sprayed the cup, the utensil, the strainer, everything that was used. Try to keep everything clean. I've tried to keep all the flies and the gnats out of the bucket. So next step is to seal this up, and over the next day or two, just going to watch that bubbler and make sure that there's something coming out. It should be bubbling away within about 2 days. For the first few days, just going to open this up, spray the spoon, and give it a quick stir just so that it gets oxygen down in the water. Should be mostly fermented in a couple of weeks, and then I'll show the other tools that you're going to need, which will be a siphon and the glass carboy, and that's when it'll go into its second stages. But for now, it started. So this is the next day. This is the 14th of July. It's not even been 24 hours, and this thing is bubbling away. So I'm just going to give it a stir. A reminder, this is the time when you have to be clean, sanitize everything. So I'm going to spray this with the Star San sanitizer, and as I move it, you'll see the bubbles. There they are. What happens is this fruit makes a cap and pushes everything up. Once I start stirring it, it'll go down. It is really going. Yeah, that yeast is my favorite. Stuff really works. So I'm just going to stir it. I want some more oxygen to get in there. Look at all that. That was lovely. Probably got it a little bit too full, so I might have to take a little bit of the liquid out. What will happen is the gas will push up the fruit, and then you'll just fill up your bubbler. Okay, let's put the lid back on, and I cleaned out my bubbler. Also, one little tip. They have lines on that say fill to this point, but they're hard to see, so I just take a black marker and put it around so I know how much to fill it. So I'm going to snap this down. There you can see, making all the carbon dioxide just bubbling away. That is how you know it's working. So it's going to go real strong like this for 2 or 3 days, and by the end of the week it'll start to tail off. It will still be fermenting, it'll just be going very slow. So I don't want to rack it until it's about 2 weeks in this bucket, and then I'll put it in the carboy. So we'll continue doing this every day for the next 3 or 4 days. Okay, today is the 19th of July. It has been about 6 days since we made the mixture and added the yeast. It was bubbling like crazy, but you can see right here, there ain't nothing going on. So we are going to transfer it into the carboys. So everything is wet here because we have sprayed the sanitizer. We keep that in a spray bottle, and you just can't use enough of this. So go ahead and spray the inside of the bottles. I'm just going to run that around 15 seconds. We're going to use this siphon, which is really cool because you just pump it and it starts working. Alright, so we're going to leave this up on the table, put these on the ground, and siphon away. This is what it looks like. It has a very musty, almost like a bread yeast type smell, in a very good way. It is still bubbling, very tiny amount, and it'll finish bubbling in these glass carboys. So this particular siphon, it does siphon from the bottom. It has this piece down here, and that's where it sucks from. And so it will minimize, there will be some sediment that gets in there and seeds and whatnot, but it'll minimize what goes in the carboy. And we will, that's called racking, and we will rack it at least one more time in the process. We're using 2. We're probably going to get about 1.5 gallons. These are 1 gallon carboys. So we'll get to siphoning.
So I've got the pump working. We did drain them out, and he's down there putting it in the bottles. He's already working on the second one.
Here it is in the carboys. It is very cloudy. There are probably some seeds and sediment, and over the next few days, not only will this continue to ferment, and we'll see little bubbles that'll just rise along the side, but it'll start to get clear, and we'll start to see the sediment build up on the bottom. And like I said, we'll rack this again to another set of carboys, at least once, maybe twice, here in the next couple of weeks. But for the most part, the wine is made. It has made its alcohol goodness. So now we just wait. We'll cap these with rubber stoppers and the bubblers, just like we did on the bucket. And that'll keep the bugs and gnats out. So this is the 7th of August, and we're going to transfer it to another carboy. Got everything laid out. Everything's wet because we sprayed it with the Star San sanitizer. Try to be very clean. This is an interesting one because although it's been in there for, what, 3 weeks or so, yeah, there's a lot of sediment in the bottom of this. So we're just gonna siphon out, up to here, or down to there, and down to here, and then we'll try and filter the rest. So spraying our hands, spraying the counter, spraying all of our tools, want everything to be clean, because we don't want to make vinegar, we want to make wine. And draining it down here, we always put it on the floor.
You ready to pinch? That's it.
Move it to the other jug.
That should just take over.
This has the pump on it, so you can pump it to get it started. Highly recommend that. I can smell it. Someone asked today on YouTube, they said, does it have an odor? And it shouldn't have an odor other than a light bread smell, a bread dough smell. Hi, Happy Wife.
Hi.
It is the 5th of September, and now we are going to do one of the final steps, which is to take it from the jug, put it in a bucket for 24 hours, and then we're going to later add some sugar water. It's been almost a month in this jug. And if I come down here, you can see all that nice sediment, all that awful sediment that has gone to the bottom. And one of the nice things about making wine is you don't have to adhere to a strict schedule. So whether you rock out wine in 3 weeks or take a couple of months, it's okay if you're busy. Just get to it when you can. So we're in no rush for this. Wine is about time. So we're going to put it in here and get to the final step. At the same time, we're going to make our sugar water. So I've just got half a pan of water, and we'll use about 2 pounds of this 4-pound bag to mix it in. We'll get that cooled off for tomorrow when we bottle it, because we like it sweet. Right?
I like it sweet.
Because you're sweet.
No, because I'm very sour and it all balances out.
Oh. Okay. So here's the wine going in. And she's going to be very careful to avoid that sediment on the bottom. You do not want that. If you get a little bit in, it's okay.
Because we'll have to do this process again.
Yeah. You hear us talk about sanitation, sanitation, sanitation. We have cleaned all this out. We have sprayed our hands. We've sprayed the counter. We've sprayed everything we can think of. And we want to cap this off as soon as it goes in, because we don't want flies and other things to get in there and ruin our good wine. All right, so I'm going to take a final hydrometer reading. Of course, there's the tool we use. I just need to fill this. Fill this with the wine. We have sprayed everything again. The tube, this cup.
You have deep 5-gallon buckets. You don't need to do this, but when we only use these smaller ones, then you have to. Oh.
We did taste a sample.
And it is strong. So.
Delicious. Hands are sprayed. This is all sprayed. A lot of times it's easier just to sort of mentally mark it and then pull it out and look at the reading. And that is about 0.998, I think. So this is going to be my final reading, even though we're going to add sugar water. So even though this has been sitting here for a month and there's been no activity whatsoever, I'm still going to go ahead and put a campden tablet, sodium metabisulfate.
Which stops yeast.
Yeah, it should just kill everything in there. I'm going to put it between 2 spoons, crush it into a powder. There it is. And just dump it in. And just give it a little stir. Will not affect the taste at all.
Okay. So seal that bad boy up.
Put the bubbler on it just to seal the hole. We'll just set that aside until tomorrow.
Okay, bye wine.
Just as far as record keeping, I go ahead and update the little traveler that I stick to the bucket. It just lets me know everything every time that I took an action. Since I had the beginning and ending readings on specific gravity, you just go to your phone and punch in ABV calculator and one will come up. So I've got the beginning in there. Got lots of roosters. I put in the last one, 0.998, hit the done, and there it is, 17.32. What do you think of that, happy wife?
Did you say I was drunk before noon?
You could be. Did you try the sample again?
Oh, again? I should try the sample?
I put a little bit of sweetener in there.
And it is delicious.
Okay. Can you describe that hot taste? I know we talk about new wine as a hot taste.
Oh, it's very strong, but it just has that, like, punch that you don't want in wine. It's not smooth at all. It's kind of...
burn.
Yeah, it's a burning feeling. It's kind of just... that's strong and
but tasty.
Tasty, but it's kind of like a fire you don't want in your wine. And nobody likes fire wine.
Yes.
Is that something, a fire wine?
Fire wine.
I know there's ice wine, but I don't think there's fire wine.
Put some cinnamon in there.
There's a reason there's no such thing as fire wine.
So the thyme just lets the water and the alcohol blend together and get a real smooth flavor. So yeah, we're drinking it out of a
measuring cup.
Yeah.
Old measuring cup.
But it is tasty. It's good. So, all right. So we'll come back tomorrow and put it in a bottle.
Oh, you're filming on me again? Why are you filming on me?
Because you're pretty.
Stop that.
Okay.
Like, you can't do that.
This is the 7th of September, and we're on the final step. We are going to sweeten this to our taste.
And then bottle it.
So it's been in this bucket for 2 days, and everything's just been sitting out. Any sediments hopefully have gone down to the bottom, although we got most of the sediment out. Everything has been sprayed. All the bottles have been sprayed. The tabletop's been sprayed. The spoon. Inside of here is our syrup. I did put a 4-pound bag of sugar in with a couple of quarts of water. So it's not as heavy as it could be, but it's a good sweet syrup. Okay, so now we're just gonna mix and taste till we get it like we want it. And we'll start by pouring in probably a half a quart.
Sure. Now, I do not have to spray the wine glass itself.
Yes. So we're going to use one vessel as a dipper and one as a taster. Look at that color, will you?
Oh, now you know why I chose the glass.
Oh.
Oh.
Drink up, happy wife.
More sugar, please.
Okay. Okay, that's not bad. It's real close. We do have 2 taste differences. Happy wife likes hers a little sweeter than I do. I don't like it dry. That is a good taste. You can taste the raspberries. You can definitely taste the cranberries. It's got that nice little bitter bite to it.
Still got the hotness, but oh, my.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Let me try again.
You try again.
Yeah, try again. What?
There's no limit. You know, we don't have.
It's 1:30.
It's 1:30. It's afternoon.
It's a Saturday, and I don't plan on going nowhere.
We're adults. We don't have tickets. We don't have a time we have to get out of here. I think that's good to go.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Oh man, that's gonna be good. That was a good choice in combining flavors.
Do we really have to wait until January?
Yes, because it's still got that heat. I can feel it.
Oh man, this might be. I don't know if it's gonna wait.
Okay.
All right.
Time
to bottle. Happy wife is going to be working the siphon plunger. I'm going to be down here bottling, and then this is a little device that just squeezes the tube and closes the tube off when you're ready to stop. So I'm going to work that with my good hand. All right, I'm good. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Here we go. So our journey that began on the 11th of July is now complete as far as the bottling goes, and the rest is just time. So 11 July, 7 September, a little short of 2 months. Yes, you could make wine in about 3 weeks, but we're a farm, we got other stuff to do, so we take our sweet time. And again, that's the beauty of wine. If you got other stuff to do and you can't process it today, you can do it tomorrow, next week.
We're in no rush.
No. So what we got was 4 quarts, 1 full pint, and a partial pint, which may become a taster. But it is tasty, and out of 2 gallons, this is what we got, and that's about right. Out of 2 gallons, you're going to wind up getting 1 good gallon and a little bit of leftovers.
And we do like it this way because we can do the variety.
Because right behind it, we got peach. And we're gonna do the final processing on this here in the next few days. And we're gonna start some apple. So I hope you found that useful. This is the second time we've done a step-by-step video. It was seemed to be very popular the first time, and maybe you found out something new this time. So thanks for watching, and hope you will subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate loyal subscribers and the folks that find us for the first time. All right, till next time, you guys take care. We'll see you soon on the homestead. Bye.